All right, gentlemen, I hope we're doing well. Hope we've had a cracking start to the day. Now, I don't know what it is, but at least once a week, I get an email or Sue fields a phone call from someone that has either seen me, heard me, or whatever it might be with opportunities. They just seem to come out, whether it's people that need help with something, whether it's a new project or whatever it might be. I get a lot of people that pitch me ideas, which is kind of cool. So I get to see all sort of awesome stuff that's going on and sort of like pick what I want to get involved with outside of what we have going on here with the One Man Empire Fellowship. So the other week, something came across my desk that looked really cool. And I got really excited about it, and I was like, man, we can add some huge value here. I think this is going to be absolutely awesome. And we should probably have a conversation. So jumped on the telephone with this guy, and we got on really well. And I was super excited, and we were both super excited. And it came to next steps, which was a little bit more of an in-depth meeting. And here is where the problem lies. You see, in the moment, the other person says to me, Charlie, so we need to have a conversation, a little bit more depth, a couple of other stakeholders involved, and I think we need to set up like a 2-3 hour meeting for that, probably via Zoom, and let's get that in the diary. At which point I said, perfect, and here was the problem. I then said these fateful words: when is good for you? And as soon as they came out of the mouth, I knew I was in trouble starting a relationship this way. You see, if you've ever uttered the words before a meeting or a sit down with a new client or a new prospect, when is good for you, I'm going to have you consider right now those 4-5 words are the reason that we end up getting persecuted by customers, why we end up bent over a barrel, and why we don't get what we want. You see, the reality of those words are this: in literally a split second, what we have done is we've just transferred all of the control that we have over to them. You see, the shift is ever so subtle, but the consequences of that power and that control transfer are huge and catastrophic, because you see, all of a sudden and in an instant, we have told them that they are more important than us, that they have the power to dictate when time can be allocated to their thing, to their project, to their demands, and we have given the ability to choose when they can take control of our schedule. And that, my friend, is never ever a good place to be in any relationship. You see, what I should have done, and in fact, if anyone has ever sat there thinking, we get that all the time. In fact, how should I answer that question? When should we meet? The words and the phrases that you need to use are this: perfect. Meeting sounds great. I can do next Monday at 3, or I can do Friday at 4, or whatever time suits you. You see, by changing the frame and giving them 2 options that suit us, all of a sudden we've maintained control, we've maintained power, and we've kept that frame in that says, now we're going to be kind of flexible, but at the same time, you, my friend, do not have the right to dictate my diary, you don't have the right to dictate my schedule, and you don't have the right to take control of this relationship. We keep it bare and we keep it balanced. So, I realise I messed up with that one. We'll probably see the fallout of that over the next few weeks if the project comes off, and I'm going to be now ruthlessly trying to make sure that I can take that power frame back. But you've got to make sure, if you ever felt that you're in a situation where people are taking advantage, I'd have you consider right now that arguably it's your fault and it's your responsibility. And it all comes down to the fact that that relationship was started off the wrong way, usually because of a very subtle shift of power that happened at the start that snowballed. So right now, my friends, when it comes to the other men that play this game here inside of the One Man Empire movement, and in fact the people that elevate to the 30 seats around the table that we have going on here with the fellowship, This is what it's all about. It's how can we maintain control, how can we keep control, and most importantly, how can we make more, provide more, and be more inside of this whole game that we call business. In fact, on that matter, we have right now inside of the fellowship at the time of recording this, 1 seat available. We only have 30 active men on at any one time. We've got 1 seat available. If you want to take that seat, if you want to come and join the other smart, ambitious men that are here inside of this movement that are leveraging everything that we do to push everything to the next level, then all you need to do is go to www.applyforyourseat.com, and from that URL you can put in an application. We can have a conversation as to whether or not I think you can help in terms of what you've got going on in the business with your situation. If you can, that sounds awesome. We can go from there. If you can't, it's cool as well, and we can end that from there. Other than that, my friends, have a cracking rest of your day, and I will catch you in a bit.